All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. A busy month of March. We have had an event every night, including my nights off. I mean, I've got parties to go to and friends that want to drink wine with me. So, I'm not complaining. I have a strong constitution, so I don't really need to take nights off. And God, this week we had an event every night, 5 in a row, but great stuff. And I was happy to host Francois Villard on Saturday night because the wines of the Northern Rhone are wines that I don't see enough of. And this is the greatest expression of Syrah and Viognier that you will find on the earth. And these are two varietals that you can make into a very high quality, long-lived wine by themselves. They don't need anything else. And, well, Francois Villard got started in 1988 when he planted his first vineyards. But he was actually, started out life, he wanted to be a chef. He went to cooking school and, well, decided when cooking school, I guess he got into wine and he liked the idea of becoming a winemaker better. So he made his first wines in 1991, and today he makes something from, I believe, all 8 villages of the Northern Rhone, all 8 appellations, or most of them anyways, except, of course, Grillet, which is his own appellation, and St Perret, which is the smallest, They have just an incredible, unique style to these wines. A lot of the wines that get big press, that get huge scores, have high alcohol. Well, none of Mr. Villard's wines have got a high alcohol, 12.7, 13%. They're very light, very well-balanced wines that are very refreshing and beg a second glass. Well, we started out with, of course, Viognier, the Saint Joseph Blanc. I'm sorry, not Viognier. This is Marsanne. Fruit d'Aveyron is what it used to be called. And Marsanne by itself can make a really lovely fruit-driven wine. This wine has got a little bit of barrel to it, but this wine's got a lot of nice fruit to it, that clementine orange zest and peach and apricot fruit. Really lovely freshness and really juicy on the palate, but it's got some nice creamy texture to it and a lovely freshness, just like all these wines do, and pretty floral notes on the finish. Really excellent example of a single varietal Marsanne, something we don't see too often here in this country. Francois Villard's Contours de Dispensins is, I failed French class in high school and college. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Francois. 100% Viognier, and this is just outside of the appellation of Condrieu. So really pretty nose, hibiscus flowers, peaches, lychee nuts, white pepper spice. Lovely balance in this wine. Again, Viognier can tend to be oily and a little bit hot if it's picked really ripe, and to me, out of balance. But this wine, lovely freshness in here, smooth texture, kind of skim milk there, and tongue-tingly minerality through the finish at $30. An excellent little value. Great entry-level Viognier. And then the Condrieu Les Terrasses, which this is a big boy. Condrieu makes really intense Viognier. Lovely minerality in these wines. Lovely pretty floral notes, lavender, and a slight oily texture to this wine, but still lovely balance and freshness. Again, in all of these wines, tongue-tingly acidity and minerality showing at the end. This one comes from 4 different vineyard sites, and they're on terraces. That's the name. And there's some new oak in here. A little bit of spice, The oak should be used as salt and pepper, and just like with a chef making a dish, if it's got too much salt on it, it's not good. It's too salty. And he just uses a little bit of oak. It adds a nice little extra dimension of spice to this wine. This Condrieu, most excellent juice. All right, the Villard Les Garins Merlot in the Northern Rhone. He planted this in 2000. I guess he likes Pomerol and likes Merlot. It's on sandy soils right next to the river. And, it's a short fermentation, 1 week. It's a really light and pleasant style Merlot. Several people really like this because of the light price, but not a really complex wine. It's got some nice plum and cherry fruits, an easy drinking style Merlot. A short finish, but a nice, clean and fresh finish, some herbs, and a really good little refreshing bottle of Merlot, and from a place you would not normally see Merlot from. So very unique in that regard. Francois Villard, L'Appel de Serine, Syrah. This is his entry-level Syrah. It has a little bit of that gamey kind of beef animal stew note to it, some black pepper spice, some sun-dried plums, dried flowers, really smooth and silky on the tongue with a short but again pleasant finish. This is his entry-level Syrah. And then the Saint Joseph Poivre Sol, which means salt and pepper. And this wine has, well, it's got that typical granite minerality you get from Saint Joseph. A lot of granite in the Northern Rhone, blackberry fruit, a little hint of wild game, some fresh earth, a little rocky nuance, really nice complexity. A little bit of pepper in this wine, and not a whole lot, though. Like I said, all these wines really lovely balance. Nothing sticks out in these wines. They are just really nicely, very well-made wines and a very fresh style. You don't get that olive that you get out of the south of France In Syrah, you get more of a peppery note here. Like I said, this wine really lovely, balanced, $42 a bottle. The Sol Unseen, I guess Francois at one time was left alone on stage. That's this wine, and you get more schist in this vineyard site area. There's some nice bacon notes to this wine, mint, camphor, really fresh, cool vintage 2010. So this wine has got a nice structure to it. The best of all the wines on the table tonight for most of the people at the tasting. Lovely dark cherry fruit. And it's a small cuvee on the left side of the river. You get those schist soils, so that's where this is from. Really fresh and lively. Some really nice concentration in this wine. But it's similar to a Cote Rotie a little bit. You get a little bit of that animal, those silky tannins with a long finish. This was excellent with the wild boar stew. All right, and then the Cote Rotie La Galette Blanc, which confused at least one of our tasters, because it said Blanc on it. He thought it was a white wine, but Galette and Blanc are the name of the two growers that he buys his fruit from. He doesn't own all of his vineyards. You know, Francois, it's very hard to get vineyards in all 8 of the appellations, so he's got some friends, Galette and Blanc, who he buys fruit from. This wine does see 55% new barrique, and had a lovely intensity and spice to the wine, but you know, not as big as the 2010, a much softer, more juicy wine, more forward and appealing right now. So even though it's considered a better wine, a lot of people like the Sol Unseen better because of the 2010 vintage. But all the wines were big hits. Everybody liked everything that came to the event. Thank you very much, Francois, for showing us all your new releases. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.